Hello everyone. I thought I would finally do a flip through of my very first art journal. So let's go through it. I've lightly gessoed the cover and I never actually did anything with it. And I don't mind that. So there it is, very plain cover. This was the very first page. It was a workshop at Michael's, and that's where I got the notebook from, actually. And it wasn't, shall we say, there wasn't a lot of materials there to work with, but it was a good introduction to see what one can do, how to kind of get your feet wet and started. So this was done at Michael's, and it says, "My love for you cannot be measured." So I started this February 26th, 2015. And here's the second page. This one says, "Waiting is hard but not impossible." There's a little shimmer to it. This has a quote from a professor that I had in college, and it says, "The problem is we save everything but remember nothing." In the beginning, I had kind of a lot of trouble being creative. Everybody, knows how to layer so well, but of course that's because of lots of practice and whatnot. And I didn't really know how to layer, so I always felt that my stuff looked really flat, if that makes any sense. This page was done using a stencil for the branches, and then I did the blossoms using a Q-tip. And this one was reminiscent of South Korea, where my husband and I lived for 2 years teaching English, and the streets would just be covered in blossoms, and it's just so beautiful. This page, the technique of it was inspired by France Papillon on YouTube. Seriously, check out her channel because her stuff is fantastically amazing. And the quote is from a song. I forget who the artist is, though. This one was just some rice paper stamped on, a little bit of ink. Just very simply done. The quote here, "Why are we embarrassed by silence?" is from Tuesdays with Morrie. I don't know if you've ever read that book or watched the movie, but that dude had a lot of wisdom. This one was trying to find the whole found phrases or sentences from a book, and since I had this fabric ruler piece that went to the number 7, and then I had these punch outs that were kind of spiky. What I came out with was, "Cutting sin is as a luxurious thistle." So, and this background here is actually just paper towel that had been inked up with some pen marking. This one, choices. At the time, well, kind of all the time, I guess, but in any case, a lot of times there's just so many paths that we can take, and we end up taking a path, and sometimes it's not where we thought it would be, and sometimes it's pretty close. So we're all having to make different choices and choose different ways of going through life. This one, I rather liked how it turned out, and turned out better than I thought, actually. I'm gonna let you read this one by yourself, though. So yeah, I had that idea in my head. And this kind of using the nursery rhyme, and then seeming like something's gonna happen, and then turns out just wanting to relax. I did rush this paper, so that's why it's kind of looks a little messy, unfortunately. This quote comes from a book called Prospero's Children. Fantastic fantasy genre. If you like that kind of thing, I highly recommend it. There's 3 books: Prospero's Children, The Dragon Charmer, and The Witch Queen. If you're a reader of that genre, dude, seriously, check it out. Stamping, washi tape, and some ephemera stickers, that kind of thing. This just has magazine cutouts, modeling paste colored with gray paint, and little sticker from Hobby Lobby. Find joy in the little things. This one did not come out quite the way I wanted. The background is torn paper from the same paper, and as you can see, it looks very uniform. So I tried to fix it by kind of shading and using different colors, but it just didn't really work. And it says, "Are you ready for the race? Are you ready for the show? Can you match the pace and keep from falling low?" This page comes from trying not to be lazy. I am a very lazy artist, and probably even more so now. Of course, I have, the 3 kids, so it takes up more time than I can spend on art, but this was also inspired by France Papillon, but it was also more like, put some effort. And when I do put in the effort, it comes out pretty nicely. So it's cardstock craft paper with modeling paste colored in or colored over, some ribbon, black burlap ribbon, what's this called? Bandage, the bandage that you put over a wound. Gauze, that's what it is, gauze. And then just little yarn ribbon, or not ribbon, but thread kind of woven into it. And it has the word explore because I was trying to explore the uses of what I had. This page, I'll admit, I don't really like it. Just did not come out the way I wanted, and actually I don't even know what I was aiming for it at this point. But it is what it is. This one is kind of austere, but I really liked the quote from G.K. Chesterton. And it says, "If you happen to read fairy tales, you will observe that one idea runs from one end of them to the other. The idea that peace and happiness can only exist on some condition. This idea, which is the one of ethics, is the core of the nursery tales. And then it has a little secret door. So, and then there's, kind of can't really, well, you can sort of see it right here. The crackling, what's it called? Oh, crackle paint from, I guess it's Ranger. Oh, Tim Holtz, yeah. So it's just the crackle paste. It was really old. So anyway. So basically it's saying that peace and happiness can exist, but it, you know, there's a condition to it. You have to work for it. You have to do something to obtain that peace and happiness. It can't just be something that comes to you and something that you just sit around waiting for. This one, temper tantrum. I was working on this page during my eldest son's temper tantrum. And sometimes there's just nothing you can do when a toddler is tantruming. So I worked on this, waiting for him to calm down. It's melted crayon on canvas, and then I used, what do you call it? Oh gosh, sorry guys. It's postpartum brain. Gel medium over it to try to seal it. As a result, the pages kind of stick together, but it's not damaged, so no worries. And then this part is just inked up paper towel. This page is also an attempt to not be lazy. I just had to cut out a giant tag. I printed this little guy off the internet. You know, I just Googled black and white drawing and colored it in with Copics, rub-on stickers, and the background is, it was first painted on, and then I put a layer of tissue paper that I had stamped on. And then the quote is, "It's half a distance through the open door." Some people have said, oh, Alice in Wonderland theme. And I guess you could say that. It wasn't exactly what I was aiming for, but I'm not complaining. This is a quote from Vertical Horizon song. Another one of my rather favorite pages. This one has the modeling paste that's colored, inked background. I believe I used salts to kind of give it some more texture. Looks like I did anyway. And it says, this is another quote by G.K. Chesterton. And it says, "Fairy tales do not tell children that dragons exist. Children already know that dragons exist. Fairy tales tell children the dragons can be killed." So, adversity can be overcome. And again, I just printed out the image, so this is not my drawings, and colored it in with Copic markers. If I were a good enough artist that I could draw like this, I would have totally done so, but unfortunately, I cannot draw that well, and I must look to my betters. This was an attempt at found poetry, and don't like how it came out. Like I said, it was an attempt. Circled the words or phrases. I went over it with not gel medium. Oh shoot, I don't remember what it is. What is this? No, not that either. I went over it with something. Maybe it was gel medium. And then inked it up and painted, and then used a baby wipe to wipe off the ink from the words so that they popped out and were not covered up by the paint. This is from a hymn, and this was a certain time in my life, and I just really needed the support of, you know, my faith, and this hymn came into my mind during this time, and I just really held on to it, and it got me through. This was an attempt at using some different colors, and I just put strips of paint or tape down, painted it in, lifted up the tape, stamped, tried to use a different stamp for each segment, and then wrote in it, and it looks like it's impossible to read, but I put little markers so that I would know where to go. So here's like, I don't know if you can really see that, the open star or 4-pointed star tells me that's the beginning of the sentence of this whole thing. So I go to the end, and then there's a circle right there, and then I look for the other circle, which is right here, and then I continue the sentence to a triangle that's filled in, and it just keeps going like that. So it actually is readable. This one is a technique from Nika in Wonderland, and check out her YouTube. Very awesome stuff. The quote, "Whispers in the Dark," is also from a song. This one my children helped me with. I wrote a poem, and then they went wild, shall I say. They just scribbled all over it, and then, which of course I let them. And then I have, I tried using some Martha Stewart glitter paste, colored it and put it through the stencil, and it came out kind of weird. And then used some black paint through stencil. And then I wanted to seal it with Mod Podge, but the Mod Podge is water based, and so is the markers, so it just kind of smeared. but it's a good memory anyways. And then these ones, I was trying to make a tag, trying to make tags. This was the first one that I tried. Did not come out well. This one came out better. And I don't know. This one I really like. Came out a lot better. And the quote is from Lady Bird Johnson. "Where flowers bloom, so does hope." And then there's this one as well. This one was also inspired by a YouTuber. Can't remember who though. I mean, this was a year ago, so please forgive me for not remembering everybody. It's painted background. Tried marking in it. Ripped up some circles and gesso, washi tape, and it says, "I know where I'm going, I'm just not sure how I'll get there." And that applies to a lot of things in my life. One of the things was this page. I was trying to make it work and it kind of wasn't. Even though I had the idea in my head. So the end result is not too bad. This one is paper. The background is paper and then sprayed with the white ink. This one, white linen, and stamped on, used a stencil, and then this is a little, one of those little file folders that the first part is a quote from Prospero's Children, that book I was telling you about. It says, "That summer the illusions would be dissipated and the unknown would invade in her existence, transforming the self-possessed girl into someone desperate, frightened, uncertain, alone, the raw material of an adult." Now, if that doesn't make you want to read the book, I don't know what. Seriously. Adulting is hard. It's hard to be an adult. There's some perks, such as buying your own Halloween candy on Halloween. But, you know, responsibilities. And that's pretty much what this part talks about. Just how when you have responsibilities, there's a certain freedom that you don't have, but, you know, one without the other kind of thing isn't possible. You have to have one and then the other comes along with. So basically kind of just keep going at it. This one was inspired from Stampington and Company. They did like one of those artist showcases, and it was done on a paper bag for Halloween, and I just used the idea for my journal. The quote doesn't really make sense. It was just something that popped out of my head. It's just black gesso, some white gesso, some book paper, washi tape, and then stamped image. This one was an attempt gone wrong. I was trying to use a technique that did not work. It came out muddy and dark. You probably can't even see the stamping on it. Yeah, fail. This one, I want to say, is also from Nika in Wonderland. It's a stained glass approach. And let me show you. So, I don't know if you can kind of see how the light goes through it. Probably if you were here in person, you could see it better. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's vellum, stamped on vellum, colored, and pasted between two pages. Maybe you can see it kind of right here. Yeah. Very awesome technique. Although at the time I didn't really have a stamp that I would have really liked doing this technique with, but I used what I had. So, and then here's the back side. It's got some mica flakes, some silver ink drip. This one I was being lazy. And it says, "Don't let life disappear." This is from a sanding belt, discarded, and I just traced a bird picture on it. Yeah, moving on. This one is kind of like People's favorite page. It's acrylic with ribbon pasted over the entire thing. And then I felt like it kind of needed some sort of embellishment, and I just added, you can never have too much happy, because the colors are pretty bright and it's a little sparkly. So this one is from leftover scraps that I had. I just covered the entire 2 pages of it. This was one heck of a job. Not really a job, but you know, thing to do. It got very tedious very quickly, but I really liked the way it turned out. And it says even leftovers have a purpose. And then the last page. This is masking tape, just sort of ripped up, and it has the quote from our bishop, and it's my favorite quote of his, and it says, "Personal decisions have social consequences." And it goes very much in line with my work, so I really, really like that quote. And that's it. That's the end. This is my first art journal book. I hope you enjoyed looking through it. I hope I didn't talk too much and annoy you guys by it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you're inspired to do some art journaling yourself. Thank you for watching. Bye.